Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Rick Ritter, here kicking it with head football coach Isaac Collins, and we got another great show lined up for you today as we're coming off a big homecoming win this past Saturday, and we'll be bringing on two of our players of the game from that big homecoming win, along with two of my favorite coaches who will be joining us today as well. Coach Collins, how you doing today? You staying dry in this weather?
Oh, trying to stay dry.
Now, Coach, it was a huge 35-20 homecoming win this past Saturday. And, you know, last week we talked about how important it was to start off conference play with a win. Well, that's a lot easier said than it is done. We've now put ourselves in a position where we are 1-0, and we can get ourselves into a rhythm here as we head into our second conference game. Talk about how important this win was and what you said to us guys in the locker room afterwards.
I think it started with just, the way the game unfolded. We were down at halftime. Certainly I think when you're in league play and you got all the marbles on the line, you could tend to press. And I think one of the things that I enjoyed about the game was the way we came out in the second half, kept our composure, stayed focused, executed the game plan just beyond belief, and it really showed in the second half. That got me really excited and fired up. So in terms of just talking to guys, about the process, about what we did and how we were down and how we were able to battle our way back, those are things that you just can't, you can't write a better script in terms of what happened on Saturday.
Now, before we get into the highlights from Saturday's big game, I'm going to introduce two of my favorite coaches that stopped by the set. It's kind of a surprise today to join us. First-year tight ends coach Robert Laurie right here. And to my left is Coach Bill Zwan, his second year coaching the quarterbacks and as an offensive assistant. Guys, we appreciate you taking the time to join us today, and I know both of you are ecstatic about being here.
Thank you, Rick.
Thanks.
Coach Zwan, we're going to start with you. This is your second season as being quarterbacks coach. You were an All-American quarterback at West Chester University just a few years ago. What are some of the things that you have tried to help the quarterbacks with specifically here at Widener?
Well, I think the one big thing is just instilling confidence in them as young quarterbacks. I've coached Chris for 2 years now as a freshman last year and as a sophomore. And the two young guys this year, I think Colin and Tevin are coming along. And the one thing I just want them to do is become more confident and kind of take over the game. I think they've kind of are developing that way. It just takes time. I think reps, the more reps they're going to get, the better they're going to be. I think Chris has matured a little better so far, especially since his experience last year. I think he's actually more confident right now than he has been in the past.
Now, Coach Laurie, this is your first year here, as I said. Talk about what the adjustments have been like coming into your first year of college coaching here at Widener University.
Well, I guess the biggest adjustment is the time commitment. When you do it at a semi-pro level, you do it at times after the regular day of vocation, whatever that is. You do an hour, about 2.5 hours of practice time. Where here it's more behind the scenes, a lot more film study, a lot more education on my part. I have to learn a lot more about the game. So it's just been a big transition in that respect as far as what I had to learn and developing.
Now back to you, Coach Zwan. Being a former player just a few years ago, what has the transition been like from being a college football player to now coaching college quarterbacks yourself?
Well, I think it's been a little different situation for me. Growing up as my father's always been a head football coach. I've been a football coach my whole life, so I kind of grew up in the football family. And he was a head football coach here at Widener, so I know it really well. And I just kind of grew up in that phase, so it wasn't really that much different for me in the transition because I was always in meetings and in film sessions, and I knew what went on behind the scenes as a player and as a son of a head coach. I kind of knew what I was getting into, so the transition was very easy for me. The one thing that was hard for me was just how to relay my teachings to the young kids, only being a few years older than them at that time.
Now, I'm glad you brought up the fact that your dad's a head coach at West Chester University, one of the most well-known coaches throughout the United States of America. Talk about what you have learned from him and the things that you're trying to bring with you to here at Widener University.
The one thing I've always seen from my father is, all the hard work and time and effort that he puts into everything. And he kind of instilled into us as players when I played for him. The one thing about him was he had a weird way of always finding a way to motivate you. So, that's the one thing I've always tried to do. And he never put you down as a player. He always tried, when he yelled at you, it was a way to put confidence in you and build you up and to let you know if you're screwing up. You knew you were screwing up, but he knew you could do it. You know what I mean? He never wanted to put you down in any way. And guys he was one of those coaches that guys wanted to play for, and I think that was something that really caught on with me. And I saw the way, guys from the past that played from here at Widener and West Chester people always say, I love the way your dad did handle things and did this and did that. So I always kind of took in everything they've said to me, with former players for them, and everything, I learned playing for him on the field. It was a little different situation with me. As a son, he kind of treated, he'd get on me a little bit more. But, I saw the way he handled different situations that would arise as a head coach, as Coach Collins is learning now. There's situations come from all over now. He's got to handle everything here. So I kind of, growing up, I saw how he did that, and I just wanted to model what he did in the way I become a coach.
Now, Coach Lurie, you coached a couple semi-pro teams before coming to Widener. Talk about what you're trying to bring from those semi-pro teams to here with your coaching of tight ends here at Widener.
The work ethic and the attitude. I know for me, with the teams that I've coached and team that I have, we're big on team chemistry. We're big on having the right guys in the right place and trying to put them in the best possible positions on the field. So I try to bring that aspect of what I learned at the different semi-pro teams that I've been with, because I think once the guys know that you're there for them and that you're trying to put them in best positions possible to win, then they'll want to play for you and they'll want to, as Bill said, they'll want to be behind you, do anything for you.
Now, Coach, I got to ask you, what does it mean at practice when you put your gloves on and you say it's time to go to work?
It's just one of those things that you want to help motivate your guys and kind of spark a little interest. And you see them kind of getting down, I put the work gloves on and say, hope you guys pack the lunch, and clock and hit the bell because it's time to go to work. Because it is, when you get out on the field, it is work. We're having fun. It's a fun game. It's a kid's game. We get to play, but it's work too. And you have to be ready to come to work and take care of business.
All right, now, Coach Swan, what has been your favorite thing about coaching here at Widener University?
You guys, Rick, the players. Honestly, I got into coaching because I saw the way my father was able to help young men in their lives, and that's why I got into coaching. And so it's always been about the players for me, and you guys. So that's why I stick around.
Coach Lurie, how about you? What's your favorite thing about coaching here at Widener?
Saturdays. I think being in the games. It puts all the time you put in during the week, the long hours, the film study, the practices, everything that you put into it during the week is that Saturday. Being out there, watching your guys perform and play to the best of their ability. That's what it's all about for me.
Guys, we really appreciate you joining us today, and I know the players are going to be looking forward to seeing this up on YouTube and on Widener TV this week. So thanks a lot, guys.
All right.